Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. What up, man? What's going on?
What's good, man? I thought you was going to come in with some horns, some gunshots, applause, or what's up, man? There you go. Okay.
Hold on, you want some gunshots? I don't know why we got gunshots, but we got them, damn it.
So look, man, you're becoming known for when you play the horns and your sound effects. So I think the people, when they tune in, they want to hear what sound effect you're going to start the show off with. You know, hey, I'm going to coin this phrase. Can we get horns? Can we get horns? That
all right. You asked, you shot. Nah, man, but so this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Your boy Scotty B, man.
All right, so this is our first show of the new year. We took a week off because, damn it, we deserve it. At the end of the day, we deserve it. So we back just in time for Super Wild Card weekend. You know, actually, we really took a week off last week because, you know, a dear friend of mine, you know, was in a fantasy championship and just happened to take a loss in the championship. And I felt that they needed a week to get their thoughts together and everything. And so Scott, my friend Scott, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, it's been a terrible week. I can't even hold you to it. So I was already having a bad week because everybody knows that knows me. I had like a cold. So like during this time, like it's not common to have a cold.
Absolutely.
So everybody I know has like thought I had like COVID. You know what I mean? Like, even though I've taken multiple tests that show that I don't have COVID, people still want me to have COVID. And I mean, just I had no idea what racism was until I got this cold. Like, even though I mean, like when I go anywhere, man, I mean, people will look at me, they frown on me, man. They like, yo, that cough's not normal. Yo, what's wrong with your voice? Why are you here? Are you trying to pass me COVID? Like what are you doing? So that's been going on for like 2 weeks. And I swear, if my dad is listening, right? My dad, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. You'd have thought I had AIDS when he thought I had like a cold, man. He gave me like one of the like he gave me one of them father-son speeches like, yo, you gotta take care of yourself, or baby, maybe you're not as clean as you should be. I was like, that it's just a cold. like what is the world going to? So I had already been battling that internally and really feeling down on myself. And in true fashion, my good friend Ant kicks my butt in the fantasy league. So it's been a rough couple weeks, man.
So look, there's always the brighter side, right?
Right.
You came in second and you still got some money. You still got a little something. So I mean, I think that it wasn't all a loss, right? So
I'll tell you how bad of a week I was having, right? So before the championship, the fantasy championship went on, me and Ant was like, we should split the pot. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. My dumb butt ain't remind him to split the pot.
I
So
thought you was just, look, I
when
figured,
we won, I was wondering. I was like, yo, I wonder if
hey,
this guy
look, hey,
split the
I
pot.
figured you was like, your silence was like, nah, nah, because here's the thing, you were the 1 seed and I was the 2 seed, and I was like, in my head, I was like, yo, this man ain't even reply to me, and I ain't gonna bring it up again. I took that personal. I said, all right, okay. So
Man, wow.
So the crazy thing was, the funny thing was, so this was what, 2 weeks ago, and Jamar Chase was just going berserk. They were playing the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
They playing the Ravens. He was going berserk, and so I kind of really wanted to call Scott, but I didn't because I was like, man, I just got a feeling something crazy is gonna happen. And then next thing I'm up big, and next thing I know, we end the night and Scott's winning, and I said, damn. But I had some guys going on Monday that looked out and helped me out. So with that being said, shout out to Scotty. We'll talk about another battle that we have coming up, and what's at stake. We can talk about that later. But let's get into the NFL playoffs. We might as well start right there. The 49ers play the Cowboys. That's the talk of the town. I personally feel like the way everybody's been talking, the Cowboys shouldn't even show up. I mean, it's the 49ers game. They're tough out. Cowboys only won 12 games. They're only 12-5, which I called, by the way, before the season started. But let's talk about that again. Let's highlight that game real quick, because those are the teams that we root for, and it's only right. What do you think the focus is for the 49ers, and what do you think that they might be worried about?
Well, I know what they should be worried about. They have to be worried about the pass defense. We have struggled in pass defense all year, and we're going up against some of the most dynamic receivers in football. I can't say enough about that receiving core of the Cowboys. So that scares me. I think we need to be pretty physical, and we cannot get predictable. Our offense, even though is starting to click at the right time, is pretty easily shut down if you could take Debo Samuel and contain George Kittle. And that's what scares me, is that the Cowboys will be able to do that. So I'm rooting for my team, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how Kyle Shanahan game plans for those things.
So on the Cowboys front, the main thing that concerns me are the penalties. The penalties for us in this, like the pre-snap penalties, where we get the false start, or illegal procedure, the dumb penalties like that. The holding penalties, I'm not happy about them, but that happens. It's part of the game, and I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not okay with it, but I can deal with that more than I can deal with something like the false starts and things like that, because that puts us behind the sticks when we don't need to be. So in that sense, that's one of the things that I worry about. A lot of people are talking about the run defense, or not necessarily the run defense, but the 49ers running on the Cowboys, and I'm not as concerned as a lot of people are. I think that we can contain the we may give up some yards, but for the most part, once we get locked in defensively, I think we'll be all right. The cheap plays and stuff like that, you don't want to give that. And again, you want to control Debo. You want to, but you definitely want to take away George Kittle because he can wreck the game for the Cowboys. So me personally, that's what I look at. But my thing is this though.
So I got a question for you.
What's up?
Are you concerned any with the Cowboys quarterback play?
No. Dak?
I really think that's going to be the difference.
So
if Dak from Denver, from that Denver game, shows up, then I think we got a shot. Now,
that Denver
Dak,
game was an anomaly.
Yeah, but if Dak is firing on all cylinders and picks that secondary apart, we've got problems.
Right.
I really think, I'm not going to say the teams are even, but the one glaring other than the receivers is the quarterback. And if we contain Dak, then we have a shot. But if he goes off, good night.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I even think a mediocre game from Dak is enough to beat the 49ers. And that's I'm not saying that I'm being disrespectful. I know how much you dislike Ryan Tannehill, right? I mean, he tore y'all up. I mean, they didn't have Derrick Henry.
I wouldn't say tore us up. He had that game. We dominated that game until the
first half.
Yeah, the first half.
I can't put the ball in the end zone.
Right, but that's been pretty consistent all year.
I think that people need to. I think people talking so much about the 49ers. Here's my thing, right? And I feel like the 49ers kind of shot their load last weekend. Coming back from against the Rams. I feel like, I'm not saying that they can't do it again, right? But it kind of happens often when the media starts talking. Oh, they got a running game and they can do this and that. It's been happening all year, damn near to everybody. As soon as everybody gets on that, oh, they can run the ball bandwagon. Next thing you know, they can't run the damn ball. It happened with the Cowboys. It happened with the Titans. It happened with the Colts. I don't know. Oh, we're gonna get to the Colts, but it happened to the Colts. So all these teams that they say, the Ravens, these guys, they're running. They got a running game. They're powerful. They're this. They're that. And then next thing you know, they can't run the ball no more. And then they don't have anything to fall back on. They don't have anything to fall back on. Now, when the Cowboys had when they couldn't run, they still had that. When they weren't leading the league in rushing yards, let's not forget that the Cowboys are the highest scoring team in the league, right? That's not by accident.
Some of it has to do with their division.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
we only played 6 division games. We played how many games we played? 17.
Running the score up on the Washington football team twice doesn't really count for too much. I wouldn't be. I'm not as impressed with that statistic.
You don't have to be.
Right.
Because look at some of the other teams we scored points on. I mean, people talking about the Cardinals. The Cardinals won by 3 points.
Well, I mean, we'll see. So here's the deal with the Cowboys, right? Mm-hmm. They have a lot to prove. This is a year to where they've been one of the top teams. A lot of people they've got high expectations. There's people talking about like they're a Super Bowl team. They want to be respected as one of the top tier teams. So I think this coming week is a good test to see if they can beat a team that on paper they should beat. Right now the narrative, and I know a lot of Cowboy fans, they get defensive when I say this, but the narrative all season has been they win the games that they're going to win, but what can they do against the teams that present a little bit of adversity? and we'll see. We'll see.
So this is a little bit of an issue, right? Not necessarily with you, but just from what I hear people say and do. Matter of fact, I just heard this on Monday or Tuesday after the national championship when somebody said, "Yo, the only reason why Alabama lost is because they lost their top 2 receivers." Mind you, we're talking about Alabama, who has 5-star after 5-star after 5-star, right? And I get it, depth ultimately. So, but when the Cowboys were missing Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, nobody said anything. It wasn't a big deal that's just an excuse. But if the 49ers, if they're missing George Kittle, I don't think they missed Kittle and Deebo Samuel. But when they was missing George Kittle, they weren't playing that great. You know, they lost a few games, and you didn't hear Garoppolo, because now Garoppolo's a damn Super Bowl quarterback now. If you let everybody else tell it.
But a lot of teams counted us out too. You know what I mean? Like when we were missing players, I mean, a lot of people didn't think that we were going to be a playoff team. A lot of teams didn't take us seriously, and I think the expectations for our team wasn't the same as the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys had a higher expectation, as they always do, right? You know, most teams are going to. Most people put the expectations of the Cowboys pretty high each year, regardless if they have a good team or not. Pretty much for the most part, people expect the Cowboys to win. For us, I think most people, a lot of people, even a lot of our close friends felt like the 49ers were the 4th best team in that division. Some people had Seattle over the 49ers. And, if some people did have 49ers over Seattle, but people definitely felt like the Rams and the Cardinals were 2 better teams in that division.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I think most people had the 49ers at 3. They had Seattle at 2 and the Rams at 1. I don't know too many people that had the Cardinals coming out of that division or even making the playoffs. But regardless, I feel that the Cowboys have a shot. I mean, aside from some of these professionals ultimately saying that they don't have a shot, they definitely have a shot.
Oh yeah.
They
have more than a shot.
Yeah. And to say like the whole division thing, right? Because Tom Brady played in the AFC East, he was getting over like a fat rat. So if that could get over like a fat rat too, then let him. But the NFC is tougher. The NFC is tougher because if the Cowboys were in the AFC, they would be the 1 seed. But
all right, so look, this is something that I want to talk about before we get too much more into the playoff football. We haven't had an opportunity to talk about Antonio Brown. I think where we left off with Antonio Brown, and this has been like a yearly debate between us for years. You have taken Antonio Brown's side. A matter of fact, I've seen you defend Antonio Brown more than you would defend the Cowboys, to be frank. That's your guy, and you've been, I mean, no matter what he's done, you figured out some way, somehow to defend him. What's up, man? Are you still defending him, or are you finally coming to your senses and realizing that there's something wrong with that brother, man? It just is, man. He's a little touched, man.
All right. So here's my thing. When the whole thing happened with him at the Jets game, and everything happened at the Jets game, I personally was like, this is not just a regular outburst. It wasn't normal, right? And I said that there's more to it than just a contract. there's more to it than it's something that may have happened in practice. I feel like something was up, right? So then I just wanted to get more information. I just wanted to get more information because we knew that something else was gonna come out. So then Antonio Brown and his lawyers come out with they was forcing me to play. I was hurt. My ankle was all jacked up. I was hurt. So I said, well, yo, guys, that's I know he doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. I've said that a number of times. He does not deserve the benefit of the doubt. But we should still listen, right? We should still listen. So then the very next day, he goes on a podcast and he just continues to run his mouth. And it was at that very moment that I said, I can't do it no more. I cannot defend Antonio Brown and his actions anymore because at this point, you like biting the hand that fed you. Tom Brady looked out for that man twice. And then he threw him under the bus and said, and then drove off and then reversed back and then drove off again. And it was like unnecessary. It was like unnecessary shots. And I already know what's gonna happen is that he's gonna come back and after he finished making his song or mixtape with Kanye, he's gonna come back and he's gonna apologize to Brady. He's gonna apologize when it's time, because right now he's not worried about playing football. So he's making music and doing whatever the hell else that he's doing. So when camp starts coming and it starts gearing up for players to get ready for camp, he's gonna be like, damn, I messed that up, and he's gonna come out. He's gonna apologize, just like he did the Big Ben. He apologized to Big Ben. Then he was on Twitter defending Big Ben, saying that the man is not done, even though Big Ben throwing for like 100 yards on 40 passes. But whatever. That man does need some help. He needs some sort of help. He needs, even if it's just talking to someone. I'm not saying necessarily medication, but he needs to get those yes men away from him. And he needs to really look in the mirror and say, yo, what am I doing? What am I doing that is making me do the things that I'm doing? And will he do that? Hell no. I know he ain't going to do it because he ain't never do it. He's never taken accountability, and hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, I cannot defend him anymore. I will not defend him anymore. And it's not going to happen. It can't happen.
Yeah, I'm glad that you finally came to your senses. I know one thing that is apparent, though. He is worse than a side chick. That joker saves all his receipts. Anything you text message him, he is putting that joint on social media or on whatever platform that he has. But I feel bad for him, man. He did it all to himself, but it's just he got a lot going on, man. He always does have a lot going on.
Yeah, and so like, here's my thing, right? Even when he released those text messages about Bruce Arians, I was okay with that because that was in line with what they were saying about him playing hurt and him being hurt. I was all right with that. It wasn't a big deal, and it was in line with the statement that came out earlier that day. So it was like, okay, whatever. But then when he went on that podcast, he pretty much was like, why is Gronk getting that? Oh, why am I playing on a show me contract? And I'm like, well, because you need to show. I mean, you're unstable. That's why you're playing on a show me contract. And Gronk don't need to prove anything. Gronk don't won Super Bowls. Gronk, as wild as Gronk is, you never heard Gronk getting in trouble. Gronk just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? But Antonio Brown is always It's always everybody else is not him, and which I agree with that before. Is always somebody else. So this is what I want to ask you. Let's stay on the Antonio Brown saga real quick. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he's a Hall of Famer. Does he get in though?
Yeah. Nah, he's got to get in. So here's the deal, right? You can't discredit or disregard any of his on the field accomplishments.
Absolutely.
When he was in his prime, and we'll say when he was with the Steelers, he was a top 3 receiver for a good 5 years, maybe even a little longer. I have to check his stats. Consistently, he's produced everywhere that he's went. Now he's, I guess, the other receiver that I will compare him to, and I don't even think that they're even in the same arena, but maybe a little Terrell Owens, as far as like a questionable locker room guy or comes with some sort of drama. But at least with Terrell Owens, we didn't really hear of any off the field drama. Antonio Brown, I mean, he's almost got like he's like Terrell Owens on steroids. Um, and every stop that he's left has been bad. I mean, he burned his way out of Pittsburgh. I mean, the way that he went at Big Ben before he left, and some of the other receivers and the coaching staff, and then the debacle with the Raiders. I mean, my God, from helmet gate to him freezing his feet.
And he wouldn't even have to worry about money if he just shut the hell up.
Oh yeah, and
he had to shut up for like a couple days.
Yeah, going at the GM and the Patriots thing, to where he was trying to do some hush money and intimidate witnesses, and he got into it with the owner and said some stuff that he shouldn't have really said. And then I mean, I don't think he was on his last chance, but he's near the end of the rope. I mean, and with the Tampa Bay, I mean, the fake vaccination card and just that whole debacle on top of the not wanting to go in, and like you said, he had a legitimate argument had he done it the right way, had he maybe went to the team doctors or just left it at that. But I mean, to throw Brady under the bus the way that he threw Brady under the bus, and to be honest, I mean, he didn't say anything that wasn't super surprising. Like it wouldn't bother me if him and Brady weren't friends.
Right. I mean, it bothers him though.
Yeah, but should I like other than Danny Amendola and Wes Welker and Gronkowski, I don't know if Brady was friends with, like, I don't know if he was good friends with Randy Moss. He knew how to get Randy Moss the ball, and it was what it was. I mean, you don't have to be friends with everybody you play with. I mean, he sounded like a side chick, man.
Yeah. So in all actuality, I think that eventually, they're going to talk. I think that's going to happen. But
hopefully. But if you're Brady, do you need to talk to him?
Well, Brady, that's the type of guy Brady is, though. He doesn't. No, Brady doesn't need to talk to him, but Brady more than likely will talk to him. Just like, I don't really need to talk to DJ, but I'm gonna talk to DJ. I'm joking. So, matter of fact, let's get to the winner of the week. Speaking of DJ, no, I'm joking.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. You're a winner.
All right, so just to stay in line with stupidity, my winner of the week is Martell Harrell and Caldwell Pope of the Wizards. If you haven't heard about these idiots, man, these idiots got into a fight or altercation in the locker room over not getting the ball. And it got so bad to where both of them swung on each other and they missed. But it was just hearing that story was just like, come on, man, what are we doing here? like like Caldwell Pope versus Harrell, and it's like it got that bad to where as teammates y'all couldn't have worked it out. I mean, you guys came over from LA together. You've been playing together all season, and now, man, it just comes down to them fisticuffs. What is it, man? What are your thoughts on that? I know you heard about that story.
Yeah, I did hear about it, and I laughed. I was like, are they fighting for real? I mean, that like to me, I went to the game on Sunday, and I honestly I don't even think Harold played. He might have still been hurt, but or maybe he did play. I just don't remember seeing him. But I know he was hurt at one point, and I hope it was more than just not getting the ball. I hope there was more to it. But honestly, teammates fight. Teammates fight more times it's in the off season than it is during the season. If you're fighting during the season, that's a little bit of a bit of concern there. But I don't think it's a big deal. I do think it's stupid, but I don't think it's a big deal. What I will say is a big deal is Kyle Kuzma is freaking balling, yo.
Yeah, he is balling. And I didn't see that coming. So but let's go back to Harold. And this is one of the reasons why I brought it up. This isn't the first time that he's got into it with a teammate. Now, I don't know if he swung on anybody, but I don't know if you remember a couple years back, him and Paul George
Right.
had
Yeah, I
got
remember
into
that.
it
Yep.
pretty bad. And I think that was part of the reason. And it was a similar issue to where I guess Paul George was making a couple passes and, Harold wasn't where he needed to be. And Paul George said something to him. And, it ended up getting pretty messy to where I think that contributed to part of the reason why he ended up leaving the Clippers. Are we making a bit much out of something that isn't there, or you think something might be there?
With Harold?
Yeah.
I think only time will tell. I don't think it's a big deal right now, but it can be a big deal if they don't let that crap go. It could definitely be a big deal. But I mean, they've won a couple games in a row. As of right now, I don't think it's a big deal, but I think it should be monitored because that damn sure could be a big deal.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, and we don't have to go. Matter of fact, we got a special guest. I don't know how special. I wouldn't say special guest. We got a guest. He's a friend of the show. Let's bring Phil on here, man. Let's bring Phil on. I don't even know if Scott knew he was gonna be here today. What up, Phil?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, how you doing, Phil?
Doing great, man. Fitting weekend, the trilogy. I know y'all haven't got to the third part of the trilogy, but exciting Scott versus Ant battles. We like to see that.
Everybody, so Phil, I this is what I say about that, man. Scott's like the brother I never wanted, right? Because he pesters me, and I just I tell you what, Phil, do you have any siblings?
Yeah.
How many? You got any brothers?
Yeah. You've met my brother.
Yeah, I damn sure did. So growing up, your brother kind of like mess with you, and you're real competitive with your brother, right?
Yeah.
Even my other brother, we competitive to an extent, but it's something about this guy Scott. I just can't put my finger on it. It's something about Scott. So here's the other thing, right? What Scott does, and he does it really, really well. He finds a way, whether it's the guests, whether it's the callers when we were in the studio, whether we're out and about, he finds a way to turn everybody against me. He's really, really good at it, right? Oh my God, oh Scott, this, oh you just try and bully Scott, oh blah blah blah. And I said, do you know the hell that this man puts me through? So when I get a chance to beat Scott in anything, I make sure I enjoy. And you know what? God damn it, let's get into it right now. Hold on.
Wait, before you get to that, you say you feel like the middle child and Scott's the favorite of the family. Is that how you're feeling?
Oh,
I'm not gonna call him a favorite. Okay. I ain't calling him a favorite child, but he be trying to act like I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't calling him a favorite child, but he does get preferential treatment. You know what I'm saying? He gets what some may call a Scott bump. He gets a Scott bump. So all I'm saying is that when I get my opportunity to beat my brother, I will take it, and I will. So, and this is where. And listen, Phil, it's one last thing because he brought it up earlier. The week before last, before we went into the championship week of our fantasy football stuff, I said, yo, we should just split the money. We should just split it. Like, it's me and you off the record is in the finals. And he gave me, because we were on the phone, he was like, he never really said anything. He didn't say yes, no, maybe so. He didn't say, he was like, So what that told me was he felt like he was going to kick my ass. He felt like he was going to kick my ass, and he wanted the whole $1,000 to himself. He wanted the whole $1,000 to himself. And you know what? I'm sick of this, yo. I'm sick of getting bullied. I'm sick of him turning everybody against me, and I will fight. If it's the last thing I do, I will fight. Damn it.
Hey, Scott, any rebuttal? I feel like I'm mediating.
I'll say this. Nothing that Ant said is true. I felt slightly disrespected and still do feel disrespected. Even though Ant is going to play like he is, feels like it's a competition. I think that he was happy to see me because he feels like I'm an inferior opponent to him. That he might be able to cruise to victory. So I've been feeling some type of way about that. So I'm just gonna humble myself, try to compete, but definitely don't believe that he's ready to whoop up on me. He's probably got some sort of dirty playlist over there that he's been concocting, waiting for me or whoever to get to the championship. So
you guys have been alluding to it. I mean, I haven't heard the official announcement. Ant, you're gonna officially announce the third part of the trilogy?
So I guess part one was, fantasy football, and my brother's keeper league. That was part one. Part two, of course, is 49ers coming to the Cowboys. Part three. The BattleGrounds. We got a battle, y'all. It's the championship, and Scott made it to the championship. I made it to the championship. I think this is both our second time in the championship. Neither of us has won yet. And there's a lot more on the line. There's a belt on the line, plus a couple dollars. It ain't buy a house money. But listen, honestly, I if I got the chance to kick Scott's ass for free, I would do it. Because I'm sick of this, man. You know what? Calm down, Anthony. Calm down.
So Anthony, since you've talked it, and I've asked you this question earlier, and you dodged it, I'm going to put you back on the record.
Hey, Phil, I kicked your ass out of this damn show.
So look, you guys have two matchups that are going roughly around the same time frame, couple hours away from each other. Cowboys plays the 49ers. Scott battles Ant. If you can only win one, which one do you choose?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll have to put that in the battlegrounds. Yeah, I care more about the belt and and the victory and the bragging rights, because the team. I would like to see them win, but that's not me, right? You know what I mean? That's just my team. If the Cowboys lose, it is what it is. The Ant, he'll go on to business. But if I beat him in the battlegrounds and I get that belt as a constant reminder, and I put it in my man cave, and I remind him every single time that he comes over my house that I was able to kick his ass, that mean more than anything. That will mean my guy. It'll be like it'll make everything right. You know what I mean? Everything right in the world. If I was able to just kick his ass in the battlegrounds and hold up that belt and say, you see, I'm not food.
Wow.
I'm a worthy opponent.
Hey, look. So I know this is a cable show, so I'm hoping I can use some choice language. Scott, I appreciate your real answer. Ant gave me a weenie answer earlier. He refused to answer the question. He went full weenie on me, and so you have a chance to redeem yourself live in front of your public. You heard Scott's answer. You still gonna straddle the fence, or you gonna be honest? This is the look. We talked about it when the Braves won. And the Bulls started off hot. Told you this feels like mid '90s again. Um, this is the Cowboys' probably best chance for a while to win a chip. Would you rather see them continue on, or would you rather secure the championship? No weenie answers.
Just for the record, I want to say I hate you, Phil. I don't know him. I don't know who invited you here, but I don't like it. So here's the thing, man, and I don't want to get long-winded because I was told on Saturday that I get long-winded sometimes at practice. But anyway, the thing is, I root for my teams hard. They don't like if the Cowboys lose, right? I got to deal with more than just like the team we lost to. Fans talking trash. I mean, I would have to deal with Jaguar fans talking trash if they were around, So it's it's tough. But with that being said, I can't have Scott have that belt. I just can't. I've been thinking about this, and if it was anybody else in the battlegrounds, anybody else that made the playoffs, my answer would easily be the Cowboys, right? I'd rather see that. I don't, if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. But this guy,
So here's my follow-on question: how would you feel, Ant? You're placing the order for the belt to have that belt with his name show up to your house. How would that make you feel?
I know his address, and it wouldn't come to my house. It wouldn't come to my house. But you know what? But here's the thing: it is coming to my house, and the Cowboys are winning on Sunday. Okay, I just listen. This long-standing beef or I don't even want to call it a beef, but rivalry. It goes way before I'm off the record. It goes well before off the record. It goes before a long time. And you know what, Scott? I'm gonna go back one more time. One more trip down memory lane. I believe the year was 2013. 2013, y'all. That was freaking 9 years ago. And Michigan was in the finals. Michigan was in the Final Four. And I had Michigan going all the way in one of my brackets, going all the way. Scott had Louisville winning it. I had Michigan winning it. We had the best records out of everybody that put money in. And I went to Scott. Same thing. I said, yo, Scott, we both there. Let's just split the money. Phil, you know what this man told me? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess, Phil.
He said he probably told you he'd rather lose it all than split with you.
No, he didn't say that. Damn. God, dog. No, he didn't just say no. He said, hell nah. And I said, oh my gosh. So you know what that tells me? You know, he figured, and mind you, he roots for Michigan.
Well, yeah.
and he picked them. And I just feel like for whatever reason he has it out for me. And I don't deserve this. Phil, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this.
Wow, Scott. And y'all, so Scott, shout out to Virginia State. I see you repping with the hoodie. Did you also?
So you don't see my picture right there?
I've seen your picture as well. I was gonna reference your picture. That may be the reason, Ant. that may be the reason.
What's the reason?
Scott, did this extend all the way back to the calf at VSU? Did you forget to call him when you were going to the calf and he showed up and you were already in there eating your lunch?
Yeah, it goes pretty far back. Now I thought he was going to tell a different story. 1 year, I was undefeated, fantasy football, undefeated.
That was 2012, actually.
Yeah, undefeated. And I ran up against his team, and he beat me. Never been undefeated. Never been anywhere close. I was undefeated, Phil. Undefeated.
And I'm pretty sure he just said, "Hey, Scott, good game. There was no trash talk." You know, Anthony is a very humble guy.
Very humble. I am very humble.
Yeah.
So, Phil, we got you on. So I got a couple questions to ask you. Where are the Ravens going to go now? What direction do they need to go?
Well, you know, I never like losing to Pittsburgh. And they beat us, swept us, as a matter of fact.
Swept by everybody.
Yeah. We stunk it up, except for your team, Ant. We didn't get swept by the Browns. There are some, you know, stepping back, you know, being a realist, doing the numbers. We were too injured to actually compete for a championship. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, I think we could have possibly won a game, but then been sacrificial lambs against a more complete team. We have some deficiencies we need to clean up. One, we got to hope that. So I never am for it, especially in this time of year, requesting people get fired. But our strength and conditioning coach, he needs to be fired. We should not have 25 or 26 people on IR. You know, we lost 3 in the same day or something like that. Lost our starting 3 running backs before the year's over. Hopefully all these guys come back healthy, you know, just for their own sake. I'd love for them to help the team, but, you know, just being a real person, I hope all these guys are young. You know what I'm saying? Got long careers ahead of them. Peters, we don't know what he's going to be. I think he had an Achilles. He may be toast.
He was already toast. What are you talking about?
Oh no, Peters was a ball hawk. You know, he's kind of like that guy in Dallas. He get you a pick 6, but he also give up damn near 1,000 yards a year. So you know,
no. But Peters was giving up touchdowns. Okay, let's not. Diggs don't give up touchdowns. The yards, I don't care about the yards. Maybe I just don't like the guy. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, you probably don't like him.
I just don't like him.
No, he's an arrogant guy, but I like him. I like the guy, and I like his relationship with Marshawn. And Marshawn's my guy. So, So we got some deficiencies. We definitely need to improve the offensive line. We need to scrap the 3-4. It doesn't work when you have to start blitzing people out of coverage. I mean, the great quarterbacks for the most part struggle against straight up 4-man rush. Brady struggles against it. Mahomes struggles against it. Um, those are those are the two big dogs. If you can stop them, I mean, Burrow's got too many weapons to be blitzing people. I mean, got to try and get there with 4. So we got to change some things we do on the defense. We got to get better offensive line. 14th pick. I like the kid out of Michigan, not the guy who's going to go number 1 overall. I believe is the Nigerian cat.
Yeah,
I don't want to mispronounce his name. Obi something.
yeah.
I like him, and I like the Williams kid out of Alabama. We need a true pass rusher on the end. And some offensive linemen, definitely.
So I,
But
I got a question for both of y'all though. And both of you guys have commented on this. Brian Flores,
ooh,
do you think that he was unfairly dismissed?
I'll let Ant go first.
Yeah, he was, but I mean, he'll probably have a job by the end of the week. I mean, as soon as he got fired, he was the hottest coach on the market. He was the best coach on the market, and he's gonna we talked about this before, but it felt real Jim Caldwell-ish in Detroit. Jim Caldwell went 9-7 the year he got fired and let go in Detroit, and they haven't sniffed 9 wins since.
And you got to repeat that point, not just 9-7, but in Detroit, like
in Detroit, yeah.
Like
I mean, he helped turn that program around, and you look at what Brian Flores did in Miami. A lot of coaches couldn't do that. A lot of coaches couldn't have he couldn't. A lot of coaches couldn't have the confidence of his players like he did. I mean, he literally was playing with 2 quarterbacks. Phil, we've been playing football long enough to know when they say if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have no quarterbacks. And they went 9-7. They went 9-7 with Tua, a hurt Tua, and an old Fitzpatrick, and went 9-7. He was a defensive guy, and immediately came in there and fixed their defense immediately. And you look at some of the other coaches, Staley in San Diego, and with the Chargers, he's a defensive guy, and their defense got worse. Their defense got worse when he got there. So it's you got somebody like Nagy who got fired, but he's an offensive guy, and other than his first year in Chicago, their offense stunk. So that's clearly shows it's not that easy, whether you're an offensive guy, defensive guy. When you're the head guy, your main job is to get your side, at least have your side of the ball on point, and then you work on everything. He has freaking Justin Herbert. So you look at Brian Flores with Tua, and they won 8 or 9. It was terrible, and that's going to be bad karma for them.
So let's go back to something you just said. Do you think that Matt Nagy caught a bad break, or you think he should have been fired?
Matt Nagy should have been fired after like the first 3 weeks. He should have been fired like after the when. So here's the thing. I know, and I'm happy that they fired the GM as well, because he was part of the problem. Because of course, you got a chance to get Deshaun Watson, you got a chance to get Mahomes, you got a chance to get a lot of these Lamar Jackson. You got a chance to get all these quarterbacks, and you don't get them. You trade up and trade a bunch of draft picks for Trubisky, and that doesn't work. Even though you go to the playoffs, that doesn't work. But I don't think he got a bad rap. I think that you finally got somebody that could have possibly helped you. You couldn't have done no worse than what the other quarterbacks did. In Justin Fields, I personally think they should have just put him out there. I think that they should have put him out there from game one, play one, had him out there.
And
Because you're gonna get fired. You're gonna get fired anyway.
I 100% agree with you. That is why they should have both been fired. You trade up that many picks to get Justin Fields. You put him out there. You put him out there. You see what you got in him. You let him grow. Who cares? Yeah, they weren't winning that division anyway.
Right.
If they even went into that year thought they had a chance to win that division, they were fooling themselves. Get the man out there. He looked rattled in the preseason. But you mentioned it. Ryan Pace, I think it's the guy's name, squandered numerous opportunities, and it wasn't like Deshaun Watson came out of nowhere, right? Yeah, Mahomes, I can see, hey, maybe you miss on Mahomes, right? But they claimed they were considering Mahomes or Trubisky, so obviously they had caught wind of him. But you trade up to go get Trubisky. You trade up to get Justin Fields, which has a chance to be successful. But I'd argue you probably picked the least productive first round quarterback this year. Maybe not his fault, but situation there. They have talent. They have talent there. They hit some bad injuries. They keep missing on the line. That offensive lineman out of Oklahoma State, Jenkins. I thought he was going to be good. He had a back injury. How you don't catch that in the medical before drafting him? You draft a left tackle with a back issue. That's a little weird.
That's craziness.
As far as the Flores, back to your original question about Flores. So I'm actually going to give a shout out to my chapter brother, Jeremy Duru. Has a great article. He's listed in an article where it talks about the firing of Flores explicitly. But he's been on the ground floor with the Fritz Pollard Alliance. Shout out to Brown University, Fritz Pollard. But he's part of that alliance where they talked about the unfair shakes that black coaches get. I'm not sure if you heard, but Cully is on the hot seat down in Houston.
Right.
And that makes zero sense. I mean, it's just,
what is his first year?
Yeah. It's his first year. They paid whatever $1 million for Watson not to play, which, right or wrong, the team competed. They won some games they shouldn't have won. It's not his fault that, unfortunately, if I'm going to give credit for us, for Fritz Pollard, their former head coach GM, he's also a Brown alum. The guy that's now the Alabama assistant, that guy ruined the team, trading away every asset they possibly had and getting
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien getting 3 cents back on the dollar. And to fire Cully when he had no head coaching or coordinator experience ever, but he had that team fighting, and it's just unfair, right? And for a while, Tomlin was on the hot seat, and I'm like, these guys do a great job of, if anything, galvanizing the team behind them. You very rarely hear any of those three guys I just mentioned, Tomlin, other than AP, but Tomlin, Cully, or Flores, where people on the team talks about bad culture or bad fit. Nagy's terrible. Nagy should have been king.
So let me ask you this: do you think that a lot of teams are just not realistic to where they really are? Because, like, you look at Miami, and I think we all agree that Flores overachieved down there, and that team, despite they were one game from being in the playoffs, is not a playoff team. And needs a little bit more talent to kind of get over the hump. I don't think it's all. I mean, coaching is they don't have the talent, and then, like you mentioned in Houston, I mean, there's no talent down there, but they've got vets that find some way to at least compete or try to go out there and win games, and that's not on the coaching. That's more on the front office.
So I don't think going into this year, Miami, if you stack them up just within their division, that they're one of the two best teams in that division. right? But they do have talent. They have sneaky talent kind of scattered around that team. Like a lot of teams, they need to fix the offensive line. And two of the jury's still out on him. But they also had experienced injuries in the secondary. They experienced injuries at the receiver position. Um, they were heading in the right direction, and that's all you want from a team. Like you said, realistic expectations. If we were a 4-win outfit 2 years ago, you don't expect 10 wins. But as long as we're trending towards that 1-2 games more a year, then you're going in the right direction. Them firing Flores, um, I was going to say unless they get Nick Saban, but they've tried that before. Um, uh, unless they get like the greatest coach of all time, they can convince Belichick to move south. I don't understand why you fire Flores. There's not a better coach for that culture that you're trying to build right now down there, and that includes Bieniemy. I don't think Bieniemy is the right answer down there neither.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see what happens, man. And I do think that that Flores, and he's gonna get. I won't be surprised if you see him in Denver, or you see him in even Jacksonville. You got he what's another one that's opened up? I mean, there's 6-7 jobs out there. Chicago. I don't know if Chicago is really a good landing spot because they're all over the place right now. But New York, I think
that's the question.
The Giants would be like a perfect fit for them because their defense is not far off. It's not that far off. They stay healthy. They bring in some sort of veteran quarterback. Fix the O line. You never know with Saquon Barkley anymore. I think he has one more year of injury, and then he's gonna be a journeyman. Unfortunately, but and they was trying to say he was better than Zeke, but nonetheless, whatever. But I got some breaking news, y'all. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This is some breaking news, like hours ago. Eric Weddle signs with the Rams.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Nah, you thought I was gonna say something else, right? Nah.
Yeah. So I have thoughts on that, right? And respect to Weddle. You know what I'm saying? He was a Raven. Good guy from all accounts. But you pick a guy up that has not played football
in 2 years.
Is it only been 2? I thought it was like 3 or 4. I mean,
well, he last played the 2019 season.
Okay, so 2 seasons, right? Guy just been 37 years old. You don't tell me there's some kid out there that maybe they don't have the knowledge, but at a certain point you need the athleticism, not just being in the right, knowing where to go and being able to get to there is 2 separate things. And from what I saw at the tail end of Weddle in Baltimore is he had the effort, he had the mindset. Physically, he just couldn't get there. I don't know that he helps you.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out on Monday night.
Hey,
real quick, go ahead.
So my question to you brought up one of the teams that I was thinking about for Flores. If you were Flores, do you choose the Giants or do you choose the Vikings?
I go Vikings.
I'll go Vikings. Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna be in Green Bay that much longer, or he might not be there at all.
Maybe a couple more weeks.
That's a very winnable division. Even with Aaron Rodgers there, you can still win that division or compete in that division. Yeah. So real quick, I know we're not gonna do a playoff show like we did last year. Or we may. It just depends on what happens after me and Scott's battle. We may not be speaking for a while. So so let's get some picks real quick. Cowboys, Niners.
Niners. Oh, damn.
And I got Cowboys. So Phil, who you got?
Ooh. I'm gonna go Cowboys. I'm not gonna let my my anti-Cowboy thing show out. I'm gonna go Cowboys. I just don't think that the secondary can hold up to what Dallas has to offer. I will say one thing. If they can get if 49ers can get pressure with their front four, and get Dak off of his spot and get him into some bad techniques, I think the 49ers have a shot to upset them. But I think they're going to come out with quick passes, and I definitely think that Cowboy gets 21-17.
All right, let's go. Rams Cardinals.
Rams.
I got Rams.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Oh boy, that's scary.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs, Steelers.
Chiefs.
You already know I'm never picking Pittsburgh, and
What?
I don't think it's close either. By the way,
Yeah, me neither. One game that I'm really looking forward to, Bengals Raiders.
Ooh. Bengals.
You know what? I believe in upsets. There will be at least one upset in the playoffs, and I'm picking this as my upset game of the week.
Ooh.
I like Max Crosby, Ngakwe. I like the interior line. I think they can get after Burrow, and I think there is a thing about they are explosive, but I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. Mixon's coming off of COVID. You know, they went bullet for bullet with Justin Herbert. I'm gonna go with the Raiders with the upset.
Okay, I'm going Bengals, and I don't think this game is going to be close. I think it'll be close early. They pull away late. Bucks, Eagles.
Phew. I'm gonna go Bucks.
I got Bucks, but I have the Eagles covering the spread.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the spread is, but
8.5.
8.5. Yeah, I think they never. This feels a lot like last year's Bucks football team game. I think they win by 7, but I don't think it's. I think it's. I called it last year exact points. Now, please, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not bet on my picks. But I have a feeling this is something like 20 to 12. The Eagles cover, but they lose by 8.
Yeah. Chiefs. No, I said Chiefs. There's one more game that I'm missing. What am I missing? Oh, Bills and Patriots.
Ooh.
Going Bills.
What you got, Phil?
You know what? I think the Patriots get it done. I think they had Matt Jones. Belichick will find a way to take away Diggs. The key to the game becomes if Beasley gets open or Knox.
You just made Charles Day just now. No, I'm going Bills. I'm going Bills. So, yeah, that's all the games, right? So you picked all the games. We'll write them down. We'll post them and see what happens. But good fun weekend of football. I think that we may stream the battle. I think that's gonna be a good way to close out this holiday weekend. I don't know if Dr. King would want Scott and myself battling the way we would be battling on Sunday, but we gotta do it for the people.
Oh,
we gotta do it for the people.
Side note: Freedom Classic, is that still going on?
I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, man, I think it's time for us to get out of here. I know sometimes Scott don't like being on here past the 1 hour and 1 minute mark, but I like to torture him a little bit because just let him know how it's gonna be on Sunday all day. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. But shout out to you, Phil. Thanks for joining us, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me as always.
Definitely. If anybody out there, man, if you're sick, man, stay home. Anybody that is sick, get well. This COVID thing out here is not a game. So be careful, mask up. I ain't gonna get vaccinated too, because it helps. Yeah, you know what? Hold on 1 second, because I just got. Hold on, we got to do this for this guy, man, because hey yo, my fault. Smokey Robes was good. You do look in the chat, man. My fault. He is a he was with us when we was talking about Brian Flores. My fault, man. Dang. Yeah, he got Mark Jackson. I know. Look, we got you, man. We got you. Apologies. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. We're gonna get Smokey Robes on here too, yo. We just gotta make sure we can't have him and Phil on here at the same time, Scott, because we would never be able to get a word in. So shout out to Jermaine. Shout out to you, Phil. Shout out to everybody that's in the BattleGrounds. We appreciate you greatly. Join us on Sunday as Scott and myself battle for the championship. And and that belt, that championship belt, that joint 6 pounds. That joint 6 pounds, yo. So we gonna see what's good. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
Who's gonna lose on Sunday? All right, we out.
We off the record. Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take the chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.